You already know what a music reactor is, or you wouldn't have purchased this course. Let's take a deeper dive into what music reactions are and why they work. Music reactions are not just someone reacting to music. They are a powerful marketing tool. Reactors are like the old school radio DJs. They're tastemakers who feed new music to niche audiences. When radio and TV was still the thing, people would listen to their favorite radio DJs in their niche to discover new music through a trusted source. Same with MTV and things like that. Music reactors are the modern social media equivalent of this. The audience in modern times uses social media as radio and TV. And short form content on TikTok, IG, all of that stuff is where they discover new music, as well as everything else. As a marketing vehicle, music reactions are one of the most effective tools record labels and artists use to promote their music. Music reactions have some of the highest conversions to streaming out of all the approaches to music marketing. Influencer marketing is no longer about putting music in any influencer's post like it used to be, where labels and artists would pay anyone with a following to use their music in their posts. This approach was always ineffective because a random makeup influencer may have influence over an audience seeking makeup tutorials or recommendations for beauty products, but they don't have influence over the music consumption. It's all very obvious now in hindsight, but the audience for a makeup influencer follows them because they want makeup content. They're not looking for new music when they watch a makeup artist's content. Music reactors are influencers too, but their influence is over an audience who is seeking new music. That is why it works. Music reactions have become one of, if not the most powerful influencer marketing tools in music, as the audience is watching and following specifically to be introduced to and discover new music. There are many psychological reasons why music reactors and music reactions work. Let's start with social proof. Numerous studies in psychology and behavioral economics have shown the power of social proof. We see others who are like us engaging with and enjoying a product or service, or in our case, a song. And even better, if we see people who we aspire to be like, who we admire and who are authorities in our minds engaging with that music, it gives that music a stamp of approval. And when people we admire or look up to approve of something, we are more likely to also approve with and engage with it. Conformity bias. Similar to social proof, studies into conformity bias have shown us clearly that people will conform to an established opinion, even if that opinion is actually wrong. Solomon Asch conducted a series of experiments which showed that 75% of participants, when shown incorrect answers to questions other participants had answered, would conform to the wrong answer just because others did, demonstrating the power of conformity bias even when incorrect. So in the context of music reactions, if a reactor approves of a song and others agree in the comments, the likelihood more audience members will also agree goes up massively. There are many other psychological reasons music reactions work and convert audiences into listeners, like the FOMO effect, the fear of missing out, groupthink, going along with the crowd, and many others. But one thing that's very important is the fact that people want to be influenced by humans over algorithms. A recent study showed that 74% of music consumers discover new music through social media content. That's 3/4 of music listeners. When I said music reactors are the new radio DJs and short form content is the new radio and TV, this is what I meant. 67% of consumers listen to music on streaming services directly after discovering that music on social media. So there's the conversion I'm talking about. People are discovering on socials and moving over to streaming platforms to listen in full. 54% of music consumers polled said they preferred discovering new music through human influence rather than algorithmic. So rather than songs being suggested for you on streaming services, people would rather have music suggested to them by actual people, tying into everything I've said so far. People want social proof. They want to conform to the crowd, and they are swayed by the authority figures and influencers they admire and trust. Music reactors. How many times have you discovered new music through a reactor? A lot, I bet. I personally discover more music through music reactions than any other method of discovery, and algorithms can't compete with the trust I have for certain reactors, their taste, and understanding of me as a music consumer. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Music reactors are the new radio DJs, the new MTV, feeding new music to niche audiences And nothing comes close to the power they have to convert an audience member on social media to a listener on streaming platforms. I could write an entire course on the psychology of music reactions and why they work to influence the audience, but I'm sure you guys get it. Music reactions work. So let's get started in setting you up to become the next successful music reactor. Before we do anything, we need to choose a lane. We need to pick a genre or niche that we're going to focus our brand around. This will obviously dictate what songs we react to and who our audience is. So consider picking a niche that's aligned to you and will serve you long term, not something that's trending now or that you have no real connection to. Let's look at a few examples of strong music reactor brands with very clear, specific niches they operate in. Let's start with Majid. Majid is a dance music reactor with probably the biggest following of all the music reactors. An important part of Majid's success, along with many other factors that we'll discuss later, of course, is choosing a specific niche that's tapped into a huge growing online audience and a massive existing audience in the dance world. Using the buttons and rating systems opened up the whole thing to a wider niche. It becomes about the audience rating in agreement or disagreement with Majid and makes it interactive and about the audience. Same with how he replies to comments to make it about the audience. Majid understood that picking genres and a niche is actually about creating and tapping into communities. Locking in on dance music and specific genres within that niche points everything in one direction. Everything is aligned. When you're reacting to dance music, bossa nova and metal with no through line, it's too scattered to land with the right audience and it's more challenging to build and grow. That said, it's not that you can't react to different genres. You can. You just have to make sure that there's a niche that houses them and connects them to the audience. Trywho, for example, is solely focused on one genre alone, funk, not doing any other styles of dance or electronic music. He's gone for an extremely narrow niche that's highly pointed in one direction and towards one fan base. The genre is funk, but the niche is brain rot, meme lords, fries in the bag bro type content that funk is the soundtrack to. Being highly pointed like this is a good approach if you know the world you're in explicitly and really understand your niche and genre to a high level. It also means that the brands and partnerships that you're going to get along the way are going to be very aligned to that world. And it can be a very good thing. It can also narrow your opportunity, of course. Being so locked in one lane can mean you miss out on potential opportunities that brands feel don't align with you, or your lane or your niche. Your genre might be a fad or a flash in the pan and soon be over. And that can mean down the line, once you're established and known for this one thing and want to do something different, that can be very challenging to transition. Whereas Nathan Brown, for example, can react to many genres, but the niche is nostalgia, unexpected, and first-time hearing that points it towards a large audience. So your niche isn't just the genre or genres you're reacting to, it's the wider context that the reactions fit within. Other niches that include many genres by default are things like Vocal Coach Reacts. This is tapping into the expert value of a pro reacting to outstanding vocals online. That always blows our mind. But the genre could be anything. And the community that builds around that is people that sing, people that are learning to sing, or people that just love singing. This approach has a broader net in terms of the interests of the audience and how aligned they are, but because it's broader, it can be just as, if not more effective than having a very narrow niche. Having broad appeal means that you're more brand friendly, more opportunities are available to you, and you have more scope to transition and change what you do over time. Gringo Gomez has a niche that somehow encapsulates both of these things at once. Gomez's genre is Portuguese music and his niche is Portuguese discovery. So obviously Portuguese music is every genre just from Portugal. So the audiences are varied as much as the music is. But the Portuguese discovery bit ties all of those genres together and it makes it more than just discovering music. It's discovering Portuguese culture. So it's highly pointed while being broad at the same time. All of this said, picking a niche doesn't have to be complicated. And if you choose something you already know and already are, you can leverage that to choose your ideal niche. Let's say you're a bus driver and you spend most of your day driving buses. You could use that as the main part of your niche and then add layers to it. Bus driver listens to X for the first time. Bus driver reacts to driving music. Now you can shoot in your bus on breaks and you have your niche and environment down with ease. Reaction videos are not ageist. And in fact, having the juxtaposition of someone elderly reacting to new music can work incredibly well. Grandpa reacts to Gen Z music. Young person reacts to boomer music. The list is endless. But the key for you is to pick something you already are and add layers to it to create a unique position and angle for yourself. When Nathan Brown first started, he genuinely had never heard of Pink Floyd. It wasn't a bit, it was an authentic situation, and Nathan took that and leveraged it to become the guy that was discovering rock and roll and classic music himself through reacting to it and introducing new audiences to it in the process. From not knowing what classic rock was and never having reacted to music in that genre before, Nathan took that concept and he ended up being invited to Download Festival, being brought on stage by Fred Durst, and even creating and releasing his own rock music. This is the power of an authentic niche and a real discovery journey and where it can lead you. In your workbook, you'll find effective ways to help you create your niche, but if you're still struggling to come up with something, don't worry. We'll be doing weekly lives where we'll discuss this in detail and help you discover your unique angle to move forward with. As part of finding your niche and your angle for music reactions, you'll also need to pick a name, something that sounds good, ties into what you're doing, and stands out from the crowd. Now that we've covered niche and genre selection, let's move on to the next section. You don't need to become a Hollywood director or spend thousands of dollars on fancy equipment to become a successful music reactor. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to have nice equipment, and it's a good thing to think of content like you're a director or producer sometimes, but it's not necessary to get started. Most of the top reactors started recording on their phones, not only recording, but editing too. And in terms of lighting and editing software, you don't need to break the bank to execute great reaction videos. Far from it, in fact. On School, you'll find a link to a list of equipment essentials and a few non-essentials with price ranges that you can check out. The key must-haves are simple: a place to react and record, lighting, a phone or camera, a way to listen to the music, headphones, editing software, and a microphone. Set design and background lighting, props, clothing, branding, green screens, all of that would be extras as you grow. If you have a camera, decent lighting, a place to record, and a way to listen to the music, then we're almost ready to start making viral reaction videos. As with everything in life, you don't need to be great to start, but you do need to start to be great. So if you don't have any of this equipment and don't have the funds to invest, don't worry and don't overthink it. You can start making reaction videos right now with next to nothing. If you have a phone and something to play the music on, you could open your camera, turn on the music and start reacting right now with no gear and no setup. Don't let the equipment list overwhelm you or give you an excuse not to start. Use it as inspiration for where you can go with this if you start making videos now using what you have. Sunlight, your phone, any environment. That's all you really need. So don't overthink this at all and use what you have and start where you are. Before we start recording our first reaction video, we're going to need somewhere to post it. You've nailed your niche and know your brand direction. You've got all of the equipment that you need to start filming and editing reaction videos. Now you need to set up your channels across social media. The process of setting up the accounts is straightforward and pretty much the same on all social media platforms. Each platform differs, but you've all gone through this before, no problem. One thing I'd say at this stage is if you have a picture ready to use for the profile pic on your new reaction channels, then great, use that. But if you don't, leave the profile pictures blank on your new profiles for now, and we'll show you how to get a relevant profile picture you can use ready before your first initial post. When it comes to adding links, you probably won't have anything to link out to at first, but you could set up a request form for people to submit song recommendations, or you can just leave this blank for now. Later down the line, we'll look into playlists, superfan platforms, and other sidelines that come off of reaction videos that can be added to your links in your bios. The key here is to diversify across platforms and content formats. Every platform has its own unique viewership and style. So being everywhere gives you the kind of spread you need to get seen by the right audiences in the places where your content and your niche resonates with them the most. So now your channels are set up, you've got somewhere to post your content, now it's time to start making it. Before diving in head first, you want to know what it is you're getting yourself into. If you've come this far to buy this course, you've probably seen a number of music reaction channels and have a decent idea of what it's about. It's in your best interests to really lay into the study of this space and get a solid lay of the land before you start making content. We're going to give you a ton of knowledge and insight in this course, but it's crucial that you become clued up yourself. Before you get stuck into making content, go and spend some time researching and studying reactors across every platform and niche. By studying what's out there, you'll get a good idea of what you like and what you don't like, what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. You're a unique individual, and following what we say in this course verbatim might not fully align with you. But if you gather knowledge and become an expert in your own right, you'll be able to find ways to be a reactor that aligns with you and doesn't dilute who you are as a person. On School, we have a list of prominent music reactors across different niches and on different platforms. This is your starting point for studying the game. From there, it's on you to do your own research and build your own knowledge of this industry. So that's the end of Module 1, getting started. Now, let's move on to Module 2. The first place to start is where you are right now, the environment you're going to record your reactions in. Most people don't think about it like this, but this is your set, like a TV show. A reaction video isn't just a reaction video. It's the content version of a music TV show or a radio show. The DJ or host is a charismatic individual who has something about them that draws us in, and they deliver new music to an audience who wants to discover it. It's a show, and you're the host, and the environment that you're in is the set. Again, just like with the equipment end and editing, you don't need a Hollywood set to make a reaction video. As nice as it would be, you just need something that suits your vibe and the vibe of your niche, and that looks pretty good on camera. If you're thinking, there's nowhere that looks good in my house, we will find a way to make the best set for you using what you have where you are. Let's look at Nathan Brown's set, starting with where it all began to where it is now. Look at Nathan's early videos. This video was shot in front of a wardrobe. Simple. Not enough space to create a set with depth? Find a wall or a wardrobe and shoot in front of that. Zyme is a new funk reactor who's shooting in a very simple set. Just a white background and that's it. Sometimes simple can really work well. And when you're working with limited space or aesthetic appearances, keeping it super simple is your best shout. Another way to create more sense of depth in a small space is to film into the corner of the room. This creates more of a depth of field and can be a really great hack in a small space. In time, you'll be able to find ways to level it up. Simple additions can bring a basic or simple background and set to life. A piece of art on the wall, some plant life, something as little as that can add a lot to a blank canvas and help create more points of interest for the viewers, which isn't always necessary, but overall, having a set that has features and points of interest that tie into the brand and the identity of your reaction videos, that can only be a good thing. This is Majid's early videos. Majid started filming his reactions in Lebanon. Before the buttons, before the slick edits and set design, he started in his room. The background was the window behind him, and he sat at his desk and listened to music and reacted. Dead simple. Once he introduced the buttons, a significant prop and brand-defining component of Majid's content, the set itself started to evolve around that. It then became about framing the buttons as a main character alongside Majid, right up front, and the rest evolved around that. You'll notice if you scroll through Majid's content that his set has changed on numerous occasions. An adjustment here, a small addition there, building out the set around the host and his co-hosts, the buttons, to make the Majid show what we see today. Remember though, when you're looking at someone like Majid's content and the set looks amazing, don't let that put you off or dishearten you. Go back and look at where it all began. Then realize he did exactly what I'm telling you to do right now. Use what you have right now to the best of your ability then evolve it over time. Here, still very early on in Nathan's reaction video career, he started using the green screen. This is the obvious next step up from a blank wall with perhaps limited space and little depth. A green screen solves many problems when working with a limited environment and can be a very powerful tool creatively. You can really go hard putting yourself in environments that match the song that you're reacting to, and all kinds of interesting things like reacting in space or at the White House. Green screen, especially the entry-level cheaper stuff, does have some drawbacks, however. You're adding to your edit workflow, and those entry-level green screens can often be a little glitchy and temperamental, and can give a cheap appearance sometimes. That said, it might be a better choice for some of you who don't have an optimum filming environment. As a counter to that, if the green screen potential sparks your creativity and you're getting lots of ideas you'd like to explore, I wouldn't put you off going down that route and going hard on green screen stuff. It might be that you go high end and invest in your virtual green screen environments and do it without any glitches or anything. Some creators go back and forth between a real world set and background and using a green screen. And having it can be a very handy tool, even if you're not using it all the time. Perhaps traveling or other situations that mean you can't record in your normal setup would be times when having a green screen that would enable you to record anywhere you can set it up could be a great idea. Now let's take a look at Nathan's current set design. Going from a blank wardrobe and wall to green screen to now in a space where he can really get some depth in the shot, having that bit more space to work with, and notice the simple key components that add nice points of reference for the viewer, but don't take away from Nathan. The art on the walls, the pillar, simple things, subtle touches in a cool space with a little bit of room where you can really start to build the set of your dreams. Some of you may have the luxury of a large space and a cool aesthetic already. And for you guys, it's going to be more about getting the right framing and composition of your shot. Where do things sit in the shot? And then adding things to the set like props or other items that are brand identifiers and tropes. You may not have to be as resourceful as others and can jump straight into bigger setups, but the same simple principles apply with a basic reaction setup and a complex one. Composition and framing. Brand alignment is the thing. It's a show. You're the host. Build it around you. Speaking of brand alignment in set design, DJ Hato, one of the most successful reactors in Europe, especially in dance music, simply has DJ Hato in an LED sign on the wall. Nothing too flashy or eye-catching, just a simple extra point of reference for the viewer's eye that also happens to be shining his name at you, making you remember the brand and that shot you're watching. That's set. Majid also has his record label logo on his wall behind him. The set is a part of the brand. What lights you use in the background, or if you use none at all, even if you have props or interesting items in shot, these are all part of the viewer's perception of your reaction video and the perception of you and your brand. You're building a world, your world of reactions. So whether you're Michael Bay or Christopher Nolan working with the top set designers in the world with unlimited budgets, or you're in a basement with a greasy wall behind you, build a world that represents you and the lane and niche that you're in. The fact is, you can go hard on a set design, which is cool and displays your branding and really pushes a look, but you can also react in your car or anywhere for that matter. There's multiple reactors who only react in their cars, making it very simple and also consistent. And that's the main thing. A consistent look and feel to the environment. Anywhere you can regularly record reaction videos with as little hassle as possible. Whichever set or environment you choose to react in, the key is, once it's set up, you can jump in anytime and record new reaction videos easily. Key things to consider in your set design. Your set design is all about housing and containing you and your reaction within the frame of a vertical video. Keep that in mind when creating the set and then setting up your place within it. Where are you going to be sitting on the set and in the shot? What is it going to look like in the video? This is about framing and composition. You are the main attraction in the reaction video, and you should be the star of the show. So figure out where you're going to sit and how you're going to look in the shot in terms of how close or far away you are, how big or small you are, where in proportion to other things on the screen you are, and stuff like that. Then build the set design around that. Earlier, we touched on livening up a blank space with plant life or some art on the wall, but it's no good putting the art on the wall where it's not going to be seen in shot because your head's in the way, or having a plant that you can only see a few measly leaves over the reactor's shoulder every now and then. That defeats the point. Your face and then your upper body is the main part of the shot. The art on the wall needs to be in places so it can be seen, but not take away from you. Same with everything else you decide to add to your set and ultimately the frame in your shot. So whatever you decide to do with your set, just remember, make sure that you're the star of the show and everything in the set is complementing you. Setting up your camera angle is the first step in setting up your overall shot for your reaction video. Just like with everything else in this process, you can use high-end equipment like fancy cameras, but it's not necessary. If you've got a fancy camera, then great, use that. If you don't, you can use your iPhone or you can even use the video camera on your laptop. The composition of your shot is the key. If you're too far in the background or you're too close to the camera, it's not going to look right and it's not going to be a good watch for the viewer. Ideally, you want yourself nicely centered in the shot with you as the main focus without too many other things taking up the space that you are occupying. So for instance, if I've got my camera angled like this, you already know that's not going to look good. Whatever you're using, whether you're using a decent camera, whether it's your iPhone or your laptop, make sure that your shot looks something like this. Whatever camera you're using, make sure that it's stable when you're reacting to music. You're going to be moving around a lot, especially if you're reacting authentically. You're going to be making a lot of action in that shot. You don't want the camera to be moving around with you. If it's on your desk, try not to hit the desk. Try not to shake the desk around a bit. Ideally, you've got your phone or your camera set up on a tripod that can keep it stable and hold your shot nice and steady. Whatever you're using to record, make sure you've got enough space to actually record the video that you want to. So if you're recording to an SD card, make sure the card has plenty of space. If you're recording to your phone, make sure that your phone has got plenty of space. The last thing you want is to set up a great shot, film an amazing reaction, and you didn't have enough storage space on your SD card or your phone to actually save the video you were recording. For the video we're making today, we're going to use this camera and we're going to set it up on a tripod to keep it stable for our reaction video, keeping our composition steady. Try a few different things here. Try facing the camera directly, try facing the camera off to the side a little bit, whatever works for you and creates that best composition. You need to mess around a little bit with this. Just find something that you're comfortable with and that you think looks good on video. Ideally, you want to have enough space in the shot so you can utilize zooming in and out later on in the edit phase. You want to have enough space in that shot so that when you're reacting and being very animated, maybe you're throwing your arms up in the air or maybe even getting out of the chair, moving around a lot and dancing, you want to be able to capture that so that you can move in and out later on when we edit. Same as when you know you've got a very expressive facial expression reaction. You want to be able to zoom in on that and really capture it and highlight it. But you want to have enough space to be able to come back out and go back to that natural composition space that you set up in the first place. Now you want to make sure that your microphone is set up and recording correctly. Some people use studio microphones like the SM7B or the Shure MV7 podcasting mic, but a simple lab mic such as this Rode mic is totally fine for what you're trying to do. If you don't have a mic like this right now and you don't have the funds to invest in anything, don't worry about it. You can use the inbuilt microphone on your headphones or your AirPods, whatever you have, just use that. It's definitely better to use a mic if you have one, even if it is just the inbuilt mic on your headphones. And using the mic from your camera or phone will mean there's quite a bit of distance from you and the mic itself, meaning the sound quality won't be optimal and you'll get a lot of room noise in the sound. You don't want that. You want a close mic sound that's as clear as possible so you are audible to the viewer. Make sure your mic is plugged in and do a test to see how it sounds to make sure it's recording without any glitches or anything like that. Okay, so it's looking good, it's sounding good. Now let's move on to the lighting. Lighting a reaction video well doesn't need to be complicated, but it is essential. Good lighting just means a well-lit subject that's easily readable on screen. As simple as it sounds, it's not to be scoffed at, ignored, or half-assed. No lighting or bad lighting is a sin in the music reaction world and in content creation in general. Why go to the effort of making a video that's completely unwatchable? Take your videos seriously and light them as well as you can. As I've said many times before now, you don't need to break the bank to achieve great lighting for your video. You just need to understand some core principles of lighting reaction videos and videos in general for that matter. Then execute them to the best of your ability and to the level your budget will allow. Let's take a look at some core lighting principles. This is the 3-point lighting system. This system is widely used in photography and film, and it's your optimum lighting setup for a reaction video. 1. Key light. The key light is the main light on the subject of your video, you. This light shines directly on the subject and serves as the principal illuminator. More than anything else, the strength, color, and angle of the key light determines the shot's overall lighting design. The fill light shines on the subject from a different angle relative to the key light. This balances out the key light by illuminating the shaded areas of your face that's caused by the key light when it's been placed at an angle. And having the fill light lightens up some of those shadows and makes your overall subject much more visible. The backlight is a light that you put behind you, and it shines on your head and your shoulders, and is typically not necessary, but it does add a nice little hue around your head that makes the overall video look a little bit more professional. If you really want to get further into the lighting of your video and get more stuck into these 3 core principles, in school we've added a little outline of how to get into this a little bit more if you really want to. The reality is you do not need world-class lighting equipment or the 3-point lighting system to light your reaction videos. If you've got a ring light, you're all set. Almost everybody who is making music reaction videos or talking head videos, almost any video for that matter, is just using a simple ring light, and that is totally fine and workable. If you don't happen to have any lighting, the next best thing you could possibly use is actually sunlight. So use that natural light if you don't have a key light and a fill light or a ring light, or go spend that $20 on a ring light and you'll have more than you need to light a great reaction video. As much as you don't need Hollywood style lighting for your reaction videos, you do need to be well lit enough so that we can actually see you and it doesn't look too dark or shadowy. If you're shooting your reaction videos in the car, for instance, I suggest doing that in the daytime so that you can use the natural sunlight rather than doing them at night and using the lights in the car. The real key here is that you are lit well enough that you're able to be seen and the focus is on you. There's no point going overboard here, just like with everything else. Use what you have, start where you are, and do what you can. So in this instance, use natural daylight or use a ring light. And if you really do find that you've got some shadows because of the ring light, you can always use your laptop or computer screen as the fill light, placed at a separate angle facing towards you from the other angle of the key light or your ring light in this instance, and that should soften some of the shadows that are caused by the ring light. So now you've chosen your niche and a genre that you're going to focus on. You've set up your set, whether that's in your house against a wall with a cool background or not, or in your car or outside or anywhere for that matter. You've got your lighting sorted, you've got your shot set up, and you are nearly ready to start filming your first music reaction video. Let's move on to the next lesson. To record your music reaction videos, you're going to need to be able to record everything all at once. That's your voice, the music or music video that you're reacting to, as well as you on the screen. There's several ways to do this, and we're going to run through the most common and efficient ways to do it. The most common way to do this is to use a program called OBS. Some of you may have heard of this already, but if you're not familiar, we're going to run through the whole process now. If you have OBS already, let's start by opening up. And if you don't have it, it's free to use, so go ahead and download it if you think you'd like to use it. So just before we set up OBS, we're going to need to pick a song that we're actually going to react to. In this instance, we're going to use Nathan Brown's song, Maxed Out. We'll get more into the ways of picking different songs later in the course, but for now, we're just going to use this one. We're going to shoot 2 reaction videos in this section to show you a reaction just to a song and another reaction to a music video. We will also edit both in the following section from this, so you'll have a full understanding of how to shoot different types of reactions and edit them. There's a few ways to approach this. If you want to make a short reaction video, it might be best just to react to the sound that's available on TikTok or Instagram. But if you're going to do this, your reaction will need to be really engaging right away and all the way through. If it's only a 15 or 30-second clip that you're reacting to, there really isn't much room for fluff or mistakes. So if you decide to react to the sound on social media, be prepared to do a couple of takes if needed to make sure that you capture a great reaction. The way most people do it is to record a full reaction to the whole song and then edit that down using the best minute of the reaction or chopping up different parts of the reaction to fit inside a minute clip. So if you react to a 3-minute song, you can then cut the best minute in one clip or cut down to a minute of the song and edit different parts of your reaction into that minute of the music. Reacting to music videos or videos in general is the same principle, except you won't be reacting to the sound on TikTok if you do this, and will likely be best off recording a full reaction to the whole video and then cutting that down. Be okay with taking a couple of takes if you have to, especially when you're getting started. You might need to build your confidence a bit, and doing a couple of takes will help you with that. Try not to contrive your reaction too much. Authenticity is one of the main draws of reaction videos, so you don't want to plan everything out and what you're going to do and say. You want your reaction to actually be reactive to the song or the video. That said, sometimes having a little narrative that you're going to inject into your reaction can be a good idea, as long as it doesn't take away from the bulk of your reaction being authentic. So for instance, we did a reaction for KSI and wanted to touch on some of the narratives around him in internet culture. We knew we wanted to mention certain things like the forehead situation and owing him an apology for the thick of it hate. Having these little markers was enough narrative to make the reaction relevant while not getting in the way of what we were doing authentically. In that video, we had a few references to him, and this actually caught KSI's attention, and it was the only video in that campaign that he actually reposted. If you know a cultural reference that's relevant to the song that you're reacting to, then add that in, but try not to script it or structure it in an unnatural way. Incorporate it in an authentic way. It might be that there's been some recent news or memes about the artist or song that you're reacting to. Mentioning them even just slightly, just touching on them, shows that you're up on things and makes your reaction more relevant to the viewer. It shows that you're in touch with the culture, and that adds more trust and authority to you as a music reactor and tastemaker. You can also add references and relatable context after filming in the edit, adding captions or memes and extra things that don't get in the way of the reaction itself, but also do lay into some of that narrative. Before you press record, check your energy. You don't need to be crazy high energy, but you do want to get your energy up a bit and approach the recording in a ready state. If you're not feeling up to it, or you're unconfident or fearful, that's going to come across in the video, and the audience do not connect to that. Just wake yourself up a bit and focus on what you're about to do. Sit up straight, shoulders back, head up, feeling ready and confident in yourself, and that will enhance your energy, the reaction itself, and how the audience responds to it. So now we're going to open up OBS and show you how to get everything ready to record. Okay, so we've opened OBS, and the first thing we're going to want to do is set our recording path. So over here on the right, we click on Settings, and then from there we're going to go to Output and roll down to Recording, and here we can pick the recording path. I'm going to choose the desktop and click OK. Next, we're going to want to pick our video capture device. We go over to Sources, click plus, and then click on Video Capture Device. It will ask you to rename it. I'm going to keep it the same for the sake of this video and click OK. Then a drop box comes up where you can pick the camera device. You might have an external camera plugged in. I'm going to use the internal for the sake of this video and click OK. So now you can see yourself. You can crop this screen and move it anywhere you like. I'm just going to leave it over here in the right hand corner for now. Next, we want to pick the window that we're actually going to be reacting to. So we click plus, go to Mac OS Screen Capture. And again, it's going to ask you to rename it. I'm going to keep it the same and click OK. And then here, we're going to go to Window Capture. Once we pick that, we go to Window, and then we select the window we want to react to. So for me, it's a QuickTime player. And we select that, and then we click OK. Then you see it come up here on the screen, and again you can resize it and move it where you want, and you'll notice that your original video is no longer visible. So you just go over to Sources, click this one here and drag it down there, and boom, you've overlaid your video over the video that you're going to be reacting to. You can move that anywhere you like. I'm going to leave it there. Next, we want to select our input audio capture. So we select that. Again, we can rename it. I'm going to keep it the same and click OK. This drop box then gives you the options for your microphone. I'm going to pick this one for this video and click OK. Next, you're going to want to select your audio levels. So I'm just going to slightly bring down the audio input capture, which is the mic I just chose, just to make sure it's not peaking. And then we are almost good to go. So our audio levels are good, both cameras are there, and then we just click start recording. Then go to QuickTime Player, which is the window I'm reacting to, click play and go back to OBS. And as you can see, I am now there reacting to that video and we're all good to go. If you don't have OBS or you're recording in an environment where that's not possible, you can keep things even simpler. If you decide to be a bus driver reactor, for instance, or just shoot in your car, you can literally just play the song in your car speakers and film yourself with your phone. This will be lesser quality, but you can always add higher quality audio in the edit and cut them together. Some people will record with a GoPro while listening to the music or watching the video they are reacting to on their phone. Or if you have an old phone, you can watch, listen on that and film yourself with your newer phone. Just like everything here, use what you have and find the best and easiest solutions for you without breaking the bank or restricting yourself. There are literally dog reaction videos filmed in cars where the person is playing the music through their car speakers while filming their dog react on their phone. Anything can work as long as the creative idea is there, the energy is there, and the reaction being captured is compelling. The recording method and quality only enhance that. So don't worry if you have a limited setup to start with, focus on what really matters and don't let equipment hold you back. So now OBS is set up and we're ready to go, and we're going to watch Nathan record a reaction video and watch their full unedited reaction so we can get the raw process down.
Jeez, hey, I'm loving the vibe of this song, man. It just get you up, get you going, get you moving. Jeez.
I'm feeling very way right now. I'm off my face. The girl right next to me, she wants to know my name. 3:30 in the morning, the club is shutting down.
All I wanna do right now
is buy another round. 'Cause Friday
is a jeez.
Saturday is there something you wanna say? Sunday we're just
Hey, the sounds, the chords. This is a song.
So now we've seen Nathan record a reaction video to the song. Now we're going to watch him do the same song but react to the music video this time. Take it away, Nath.
Hey, now this is a good song.
maxed out. Yeah, the card I'm using right now is maxed out. I do not know what to do. My head is spinning around. The drink has got to me. The music's taking me to a place I've never been. I'm feeling very way right now. I'm off my face. The girl right next to me, she wants to know my name. 3:30 in the morning, the club is shutting down. But all I wanna do right now is buy another round. 'Cause Friday is a jumping day. Or Saturday is there something you wanna say? Sunday we're just resting. Yeah, Sunday you know we're just resting.
So, same as before, we've reacted to the full music video and we have a good 3 minutes of material to choose from to make the best cut for our reaction video in the edit. One advantage of filming a full reaction is that if you make a mistake or there's a part that you don't like, you've got plenty of room to keep reacting without having to do another take. Reacting to the short clip of audio available on socials gives you much less of a window and less room for error. So if you do mess up, you won't have to start again from the top if you're doing the full reaction to a song. So there we have it. The bulk of the work is done and you have filmed your first reaction video. The work you've put in so far won't have to be done again now. Your set, your camera, lighting, mic, all done and set up, ready for you to jump in at any time and film new reactions. The next part of creating your reaction videos is the part that will be a little bit more time consuming, the edit. As we've seen, filming a reaction video can literally take just a few minutes. Editing the video is the next step and the part that requires a little bit more time and a little bit more focus. So let's get into it. Everyone has their own way that they like to edit videos. What we're about to show you is our personal ways that work for us and our styles. This isn't the way to do it, this is our way to do it. Just like with the equipment list, don't get overwhelmed, and if what we're showing you is out of your skill set or your budget or your time available, don't worry about it. As with anything, you just need to get started, and through doing it more and more, you'll start to develop your own editing style that works for you. Don't let the complexity of editing be an excuse for you. Start with the very lowest barrier to entry, even if that means almost no editing at all. You're going to learn some of our tricks and tips on editing reaction videos in this section, but what we'd suggest is whatever edit style you start with, do 10 edits in that one style and you'll be able to test what works for you over time. It may mean that the most basic edit style works for you and you don't want to change that. Or it might mean that as you go on, you find little extra things that you want to incorporate. But just know that all of the top reactors started with the most basic form of editing and found things that work for them over time. Do take in as much as you can from this editing section though, and also study other creators out there and use what works for you. Don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it, just get started and you'll adapt and grow from there. Okay, so there's a couple of different approaches to editing reaction videos. In this section, we are going to edit the video that Nathan recorded earlier on in real time with us so that you can really see how it's done and you can pick an editing style that works best for you. When deciding on your editing style, you'll want to consider a few things. What are you trying to get across and emphasize in your reactions? What kind of edits do your target audience engage with well? And what kind of time do you have available to commit to doing the edits? There's a bunch of different editing software out there that you can use, from free editing software such as CapCut and DaVinci, or more pro, paid-for tools such as Final Cut or Premiere Pro. Just like everything else we've spoken about in this course so far, you don't need to become a top pro editor to cut a great reaction video. And you don't need to break the bank. You just need to learn how to make the edits that are right for you and execute on what you need. Nothing more. The top reactors will hire editors, but they didn't start out like that. They all started exactly where you are now, editing their own videos. Once your business is built up and you're making enough money, you can think about hiring someone at that time. But for now, you should learn yourself and develop your own editing style. This is important for when you do get to the point where you can hire an editor to help you, because you'll know exactly what you need from them and you'll have the insight into your own editing style and be able to communicate that with them. So let's get into it. I'm going to show you two editing styles using the two videos that Nathan recorded earlier. The first is going to be the easiest for you to execute, a simple edit that captures the best part of your reaction. In the second video, I'm going to show you a few more slightly advanced techniques that you can use or not. It's good for you to see different approaches and try different techniques to find out what's going to work best for you. In this first edit, we're going to use Premiere Pro to show you the simple version of editing a reaction video. By the way, when I say simple, it doesn't mean it's not good. In fact, the majority of reaction videos out there use this style of edit and to great effect. The edit only enhances. It can't make a bad reaction video great. It's the reaction itself that does that. Okay, so now we can move on to editing and we're going to start with our first video and we're going to keep this one fairly simple. So the first thing to do is to change the settings of your ratio size so that it's ready to be edited for TikTok and socials. So that's a vertical video. So next, Nathan is importing the videos and the audio that he recorded in OBS, and he's going to sync them up. Here, Nathan is cutting the videos. So now Nathan is going to remove the audio from the camera and he's going to use the audio from the OBS recording because it's a better recording because obviously we used the mic that we had attached in OBS. Next, Nathan is going to import the audio from the MP3 or the MP4, and we're going to use that and sync it. So now we've got all the videos and all the audio inside Premiere. What we're going to do is remove the visuals from OBS and only leave the audio from OBS. Next, Nathan is just going to take the visuals from the camera and adjust them on the screen to move them and position them exactly where he wants. So now you've finished editing and you're ready to export. Let's make sure that we export our video at the highest possible settings we can. There's no point in going to all this effort, setting up your shots, getting your lighting right, and filming these reaction videos if we're going to export at a low level quality. So make sure you export the highest possible level of quality that your program allows for. That's pretty much all we're going to do in this editing tutorial. The point of this edit here is just to get a basic edit across. Nothing too flashy, nothing too fancy. It's just get the video in, get a picture in to split the screen, make sure everything's aligned audio-wise and visual-wise, and make sure that it just looks good to your eye. We're not going hard on crazy edits here. This is just to get the reaction across. So now we've seen how to do a basic edit of a music reaction video, taking a full song reaction and cutting that down to the best minute in Premiere Pro. Now we're going to do a slightly more in-depth edit using the second video we filmed to the music video. So we've watched Nathan do a pretty basic edit. This is something that you can all achieve and it's nothing flashy, just something to get the reaction across. Just aligning your audio and visual and getting a pretty basic edit. Next, I'm going to show you some slightly more advanced techniques for editing reaction videos. And for this one, I'm going to use CapCut Mobile. So as you can see, I have imported my footage of Nathan reacting to the music video this time, and I've also imported the music video itself. I've already done the alignment, so I'm going to get straight into picking where I want my reaction video to start and cutting up accordingly. So as you can see, I'm just using the audio as a marker, and I can see that that beat there is the start of the beat of the first verse. So I'm going to chop all my videos and my audio at that beat, as you can see I'm doing now. So that's now the start of my video. Now, from here, I'm going to just quickly delete the bit at the beginning there that's no longer needed. So I delete the audio, delete the main video, and I delete the overlay, which is the music video itself. And then I just make sure that all of those new elements that are still there are aligned. So I just drag them over and now everything starts right at the starting point. So if I just turn the volume on, that has all started right from the beginning and it all comes in on that same beat. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just moving along real quick towards the end of the video, and I'm just going to decide where it ends. And as you can see, I'm going up to about 59 seconds. But again, I want it to be musical, so I'm making sure it lands in a space that feels natural with the music. And it actually happens to be at about 59 seconds on this one. So as you can see, I'm just finding that spot now. And yeah, I'm just lining up to it. And then what I'll do is what I just did before. I'll cut on that beat using the audio as my marker. And then I'll cut all the elements. So the main video, the overlay, which is the music video, and the audio itself. And on this occasion, I'm then deleting everything after that point because it's no longer going to be needed. So now I've marked out my 59-second video. After that, what I'm going to do is just flick through it, just make sure, yeah, okay, this is what I want, and I'm pretty sure it is. And now before I do too much else, I just want to get the captions sorted for everything that Nathan said during this video. There wasn't a lot of dialogue in this, so there's only a few words that are actually said. But I do find getting the captions in early just help me have a sort of marker of where those things are going to happen, and I can move my edit around where the captions are going to be too. In this particular video, I'm going to have the captions come up over the music video itself, so they won't be of that much significance. But as you can see, I'm just using the auto captions. I'm generating them from the video itself because that's where Nathan's audio was. We didn't use a mic on this recording. This was just done through the phone. So I've picked a random template, added the auto captions, and up they come. And there you can see the text for the captions pops up, and you can see there, hey, and then next, just a couple of other things that he said. And so we've got some basic captions in there now. Then what I'll usually do is I'll go through some templates and make them look a bit flashier, but I'm just using them as a little guideline for now. So that's pretty much done at this moment. I'll probably come back to it in a bit. So I've got my basic captions in, as you can see. And what I'm going to do now is just set some markers on key moments in the music where I feel like there's going to be cuts or significant edits. That's usually going to be every 4 or 8 bars, something like that, wherever it feels musically that the visual should change with the music. So what I'm doing here is just using the audio as a guideline, and I'm playing through it, and then at those significant moments, every 4 or 8 bars, I am just cutting the main video because that's the bit that's going to have the edits. I'm not going to cut the music video. I'm going to leave that where it is in one space. And as you can see, I've done my first one there. I'm just playing back through again just to see where the next one is. Again, you can see here, okay, found another significant marker. Feels like the music changes. Let me cut there. And then what I'm going to end up with is lots of different cut sections that I can then edit slightly differently for each bit. So maybe some of them are jump cuts, maybe some of them are going to have some zooms, some I'll use keyframes to do some more interesting stuff, some might have effects, but at the moment, yeah, I'm just marking those out, as you can see, cutting that video every 4 or 8 bars or so. And then what we end up with is a nice template of where things are going to happen in this edit. So as you can see, I'm just still going through, cutting and making those marker points. I haven't done any significant edits yet, but as you can see at the beginning, I did zoom in Nathan a little bit just to give me this composition that we see here, and that's going to be the main base of my video. Okay, so as you can see, I've cut it into lots of different sections. They're marked out at significant points in the song. And before I go into each of those sections and make significant edits and zooms and jump cuts and stuff, what I'm going to do is actually add a text caption on the screen that's going to act as a bit of a hook. For this one, what I'm going to do is just open up text. So what I'm doing now is just adding a caption, which is going to act as a text hook for the video. I'm keeping it simple, and I'm just going to put listening to my own song for the very first time. I'm going over to fonts. I'm going to pick something that's fairly bold. You know, you can look around here, find something that you like the look of. I'm just picking something that's going to work for the sake of this video. But as you can see, there's tons and tons of different fonts, and you can pick whatever one you like. So I seem to have gone with trend on this one. And then I move over to styles, and I pick this particular style where it has a white background. And then I'm just going to place that text hook where I want it to make the framing and the composition of the video just how I want. So not too big, not too small, somewhere in the middle between Nathan and the music video. As you can see, I'm just adjusting it now. So I'm adding a couple of exclamation marks just to make it feel more significant. And now I'm just going to drag that out across the entire video. So it stays there the whole time. It's not like the captions that come in and out when he speaks. This text is going to stay across the whole video. Again, just making a few adjustments, just putting it in the right place where it feels more natural for me. I don't think I actually left it there in the end. I think I made more adjustments as we went on, but for now you get the idea. So I've got my text hook in there. You can see it splits the screen up quite nicely between Nathan and the music video. I think at this point I felt that the music video was getting a bit obscured by the text, so I decided to move it down. And this is something that's going to happen as you go through and make your videos. You're going to make creative decisions as you go and go back over it and adjust as you're watching the video back and making more edits. So I think I'm pretty happy with this one by now. Got the text hook in there, it's in the middle of the screen, looking pretty good. Splitting it up between Nathan and the music video. Now what I'm doing is I'm just going back into the caption text and I'm going to pick a different template because I felt that was a little bit boring and I wanted something that was just a little bit more interesting for the text of Nathan's captions. So again, there are loads and loads of templates here that you can choose from. Just flick through them, find something that works for you, find something that suits your aesthetic, that you think looks good and accentuates what's being said on those captions. So as you can see, I think I've picked this one here. I'm pretty sure that's the one that I go with in the end for this. And yeah, for me, that was working. It was a little bit more exciting than what we had before. That will do for now. But of course, you can go really hard on this if you want. And you can even go so far as to edit every single word and change the font, change the template, change the animations, anything you want. So we've got our text in there, we've got our captions in there, and we've got our video cut up into different sections for each significant movement in the song, every 4 or 8 bars or so. So I'm pretty happy with that now, and what we're going to do is move on to editing some of these individual clips to make them a little bit more exciting. So we're going to use zooms and keyframes to do some more interesting stuff here. So we start with the very first clip, and what I'm doing there is adding a keyframe at the front and the end of that clip. And then what I'm doing is with the first keyframe, I'm zooming in, and then if you play it back, what you'll see is it zooms back out to the last keyframe, and it makes it go from big to small. And it just felt like that was a nice way to start this video. And then there you can see when it goes to the next clip, it feels like a jump cut. It feels like there's a significant change, a significant edit at that key point. And then again, I'm adding a couple of keyframes. I felt that the way Nathan's head wasn't staying centralized was something that I wanted to change. And you can see there, I've just added a keyframe, moved his head into the center, added another keyframe where it went off center, brought it back to the middle. Then it's feeling a little bit more smooth to me and feeling like it's making sense. So I just continue to go through all of these different clips and add keyframes, do these different zooms. And really what I'm trying to do is highlight and accentuate certain moments in his reaction that align with the song. So if he's really smiling at one point, or if he's nodding his head in time at one particular point, I want to just make a moment of that. So I'm going to use a keyframe to just zoom in. So for instance, where he says, hey here, what I've done is I've added a keyframe just before it, then added another one on the word hey to make it zoom in, and then it comes back again after that. So I had another keyframe to bring it back to where it was. What that's going to do is just make Nathan's face come forward as he says hey. Again, you can see here on the next batch of captions, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just bringing it in, highlighting what he's saying. So not only are we getting the captions there and Nathan saying something, but the video is zooming in at those points too. It just makes it have more impact. So what I'm going to do is probably just watch this back, and you see there, as he says, hey, it zooms in, back into the next caption, it zooms in, comes back out again. And then we're into the next clip. So I'm just going to move through this video, adding keyframes, making significant zoom ins and zoom outs, and making each one of these clips feel significant and highlight key moments in the reaction. You can go hard on this. There's been videos that I've spent 6 hours doing this and really going crazy, getting every single moment to be really significant and highlighting everything that's going on in the video. But you don't need to go as crazy as this. I think for your first videos, I would mess around with this sort of stuff for sure. But if you can just get 1 or 2 key moments in your video where, you know, you're pushing your face forward when you make a significant reaction or when you say something of importance, that will do for now. You can get more into it as you go on, but just mess around with it, just play around, and you'll see that doing this does add a lot more excitement to your reaction. So as you can see, I'm just continuing to move along through the video, adding keyframes, zooming in and out, centering Nathan's face at certain points when I feel it goes off center, and just making sure that it feels like a good watch really. After every section that you do this, it is good practice just to watch it through and see how it feels, see how it comes out of the clip before it, and see how it goes into the clip after it. So as you can see, I've pretty much gone through the whole video and done all of the zooms using keyframes in each section to really highlight certain bits that I want highlighted. At this point, I think what I'm doing here is I want to make the audio on the captions sound a bit louder because we recorded this one on the phone and not with a mic. The audio quality was a little bit low, and it was also volume wise, it was quite low. So what I've done here is I just, I noticed that, yeah, I want the audio of his vocal to be up a little bit. So what I do is I go into the video and then I go along here to extract audio. I press extract audio and then that brings the audio out, as you can see. And then what I do is I literally just click on the audio, click volume, and then adjust it and turn it up so that it cuts through a little bit more when he speaks. I also reduced the noise there because we recorded it on the phone. There's a little bit more noise than usual, what you'd get on a high quality mic. And I wanted to avoid that. I wanted it to sound as good as it could. So I reduced the noise. And then here I'm just adjusting the volume, just having a listen. That was a bit too loud. I went back, did it again. I think I ended up somewhere around here. Yeah. And that felt good to me. So that was what I went with. Didn't overthink it, but one thing that you can do with this, you can duck the audio of the music itself at the points when you're talking. That is good practice to do. So basically you've got the music playing, and then when you speak, not only do you turn yourself up a little bit, but you also turn the music down so you really stand out at that moment. So here what I'm doing is I'm looking to add a little effect. So I've just opened up the effects, and I'm going to add that basically as an overlay, as you can see here. So I chose shake, and it looks a little bit harsh there. So I think I'm going to go back into the settings and just rein it in a little bit. Yeah, just turn the speed down, turn the intensity down. And as you can see, it's just made the screen shake a little bit. And I've done that on a key significant point of the song. The chorus was kicking in there. I wanted the visual to feel like it was doing a bit more. So I thought a little shake effect wouldn't hurt. So I just put in something subtle just to give it a bit more movement. Here it looks like I'm adding another shake effect, same thing. I'm just bringing the speed down and the intensity down. I've added this on another key significant part of the song. Again, I think this is another part of the chorus, and I just wanted it to feel like it had more movement. And as you can see there, it definitely adds something, especially going between the zooms and the jump cuts. Those little effects like shakes and whatever else, it can add a lot. So here you might notice this transition where it spins around. To add that, all you do is click on that little line in between each one of the splits, and it will come up with some transition effects. The reason I chose to put that there was it was going into the chorus. I just wanted to feel like it had a bit more movement going in and had more impact as it landed. So you can pick any transition effect that you want, but keep it simple, don't go too crazy. And as you can see here, then I'm moving into to add some more effects. So we've got all of these different sections with zooms and jump cuts. I've added one or two very, very subtle transitions, one moving into a chorus, one moving into another chorus, nothing crazy, and a couple of filter effects just to give it a bit of a shake. What I'm doing now is I'm just gonna look at the coloring of the whole video. So I'm starting by adding a filter. I'm flicking around just having a look, but what I usually use is Clear 2, and I've added that, and I'm now going to adjust some of the brightness, add some saturation. I want those colors to really come out. And I'm gonna then bring down some of the blacks and bring up some of the whites. With this, you just wanna play with it, go with what looks good to your eye. Don't overcomplicate it and don't overdo this. I often do overdo it and then sort of come back in and rein it back in a little bit. But once you've got your filters and you've adjusted some of the settings there, you just want to drag those out across the entirety of the video. Make sure you don't just leave that on one section. And then as I'm looking through, I can already tell that I'm going to go back in and adjust that again. Yeah, I felt it was maybe a little bit too bright. I brought that brightness down. I've left the saturation, it looks like, and I think I brought some of the whites down as well. Yeah, so it just feels like it wasn't too in your face, but it was definitely better colorized than it was before I did that process. And now it's definitely starting to look a lot more pro. And as I'm watching through, you can see these cuts between all the sections, these zooms in and out. It's feeling like it's a more cohesive, good reaction video at this point. That little transition effect there, it's all adding to it, all compounding moments in the song and making it feel more complete. Here, I think I'm just turning up the volume of the song itself. I felt that maybe it wasn't kicking enough. So I've done that, and I'm just watching through and I'm just seeing how it feels going between each one of these sections. Again, you can go crazy hard on this, and sometimes I really do. Depends on the video, depends how long I've got. But just watching through, really what I'm looking for is anything that stands out as being very unnatural or just not feeling right, and making small adjustments here or there where I feel like it should be. Sometimes I feel like I haven't done enough, and I'll add stuff on certain sections that I feel need it. But other than that, I'm not doing too much. Here, I'm just adding another effect just at the end of a section before it transitions and then goes into the chorus. What I'm doing here is adding a monochrome effect, and that just makes the moment before the drop, before the chorus, just feel slightly different, as you can see. And then when it kicks in, it's significantly different, you know? It just adds a bit of tension before the drop. So there you see it goes to black in the background, the transition, bang, the shake happens. It feels like a significant moment. So yeah, I'm just continuing to watch through and make sure that, you know, I'm happy with pretty much the gist of the video. So I'm pretty happy with the video at this point. It's got some decent color. The cuts are all right. I'm liking some of the zooms. We've got the captions. We've got the odd transition. We've got some effects, nothing too crazy, but just enough to accentuate what's going on in the video and compound certain moments. One of the most important things in your edit really is going to be the text hook caption. And now would be a good time to mention the best ways to create them. If you're finding music from existing successful reaction videos, you can use ChatGPT to great effect by using it to scrape the comments on those videos and see what the community are discussing in those comment sections. And you can use that and adapt what they're saying to make a caption hook that's relevant to them. To assist you with this, we've put some prompts that will help you with ChatGPT to help you come up with these caption hooks. You'll see that in school. Go and have a look and mess around with it. Using captions based on your niche is also a great way to create compelling caption hooks. If you choose to be the bus driver reactor, for instance, using caption hooks like bus driver reacts to X for the first time is always going to be effective. Or if you're in your 70s reacting to music of young people, old timer reacts to X. And the other way around. If you're a young person listening to music from way before your time, same thing. Look for captions that are relevant to you and your niche that add intrigue to the audience. Caption hooks are important, so don't just wing it like I have in this particular video, but use ChatGPT, use the methods we've talked about, and scrape comments, see what the community are talking about, adapt that community conversation, and try to come up with caption hooks that are compelling and keep people interested and keep them watching. So I think I'm pretty happy with this video at this point, and there's probably not much more to do. You might be a little bit overwhelmed with some of this. It might be a bit daunting, but what I'd suggest you do is just get your video imported into CapCut, align your audio, and start messing around. Chop it into sections and then just look what's available in the effects and mess around with all of the zooms. Don't be scared to press buttons. Don't be scared. You're not going to break anything. You're just going to explore and find stuff. And after a while, you're actually going to find this to be a very, very fun, creative endeavor. So like I say, don't be scared, mess around, get stuck in. If there's anything in particular that you've seen or that you've seen on other videos that you really want to execute on yours, just watch a quick tutorial, learn that one thing, come back into CapCut, execute that one thing, and you've got it down. Don't try to learn too much at once. Don't try to execute too much at once. It's one little step at a time. You can start really basic, of course, but I would suggest messing around and playing with this as much as you can, and you'll find things in that exploration that you'll want to adopt and use in a lot of your videos. And then from there, you'll adapt and grow and learn and get better all the time. So I'm pretty much there with this edit, to be perfectly honest, and I've added quite a lot. It's cut into different sections. We've got some jump cuts. We've got lots of zooms. I'm using keyframes to highlight certain moments. We've got our caption hook. We've got some color grading and filters. And overall, I'm pretty happy with this video. So Once I got to this point, usually what I do is I just watch it through once, see how I feel about it, and if I'm happy, boom, we export it. Don't get too pernickety, don't get too over the top. You know, the tiniest details aren't the make or break. Getting it out the door, getting it posted is better than trying to make a perfect video which doesn't exist. 3 out of 5 is what you're looking for. 5 out of 5 is almost impossible. And perfect is the enemy of progress. Okay, so now I'm just having one final look over the video before I export it. When you export it, just like before, make sure you export at the highest possible settings. There's no point going to all this effort, doing all of these zooms, all of these cuts, all of these captions, and then exporting it at a poor quality. Export at the highest quality that you can, and it's going to come across better when you actually post it on socials. So we're going to move on to the next section now, but before we do, here's a final look at the final edit that we've done in CapCut.
Hey, oh, this is a good song.
Maxed out, yeah, the card I'm using right now is maxed out. I do not know what to do. My head is spinning around. The drink has got to me. The music's taking me to a place I've never been. I'm feeling very way right now. I'm off my face. The girl right next to me, she wants to know my name. 3:30 in the morning, the club is shutting down. But all I wanna do right now is buy another round. 'Cause Friday is a jumping day. Or Saturday, is there something you wanna say? Sunday we're just resting. Yeah, Sunday you know we're just resting. Brains of the matter, don't know what to say. You're feeling pressure, oh, what can I say? You tell me something, oh, what can it be? Why do you feel it?
And there we have it. We have filmed and edited 2 versions of a music reaction video, one to the audio and one to the music video, and we've shown you different styles of edit in Premiere Pro and in CapCut. Now we've exported our videos, we are finally ready to post. One of the main factors in building a reaction channel is consistency and frequency of posting. With the amount of volume out there now, to compete, you absolutely have to post often. Most reactors these days, the successful ones anyway, are posting 3 to 5 times a day, and you need to as well. I know that sounds daunting at first, but trust me, with the right systems and strategies, you can easily post 3 to 5 times a day and not get burnt out. That said, 3 to 5 posts per day is going to be daunting for some of you, and also may not be necessary at the start. Top reactors post this frequently, but that doesn't mean that you can't be successful if you don't post this much. You can. The real key here is the consistency bit. If you want to become a top reactor and grow fast, more is better. But if you're looking to create something that's an extra side hustle and not something you want to dedicate your whole life to, you can post once a day or even 3 times a week, as long as you're consistent with it. If you can manage 3 posts per week, then make sure you stick to that. The algorithms and the audience respond well to consistency. So if you're going to commit to a certain number of posts per day or per week, just make sure that you can actually commit to it and stick to it. Once you complete this course and join the agency, the thing that we're going to be able to sell the labels and marketing agencies on is your consistency. If you post irregularly and infrequently, and especially inconsistently, it's harder to convince these people what to pay you, as inconsistency means less reliable data on your engagement, and you might get overlooked if that's the case. But like I said, you can post every other day as long as you stick to it and still grow a meaningful, engaged following that we can help you monetize. So as much as I'd love for you all to be posting as much as possible, don't overwhelm yourself and just make sure that what you commit to, you actually can commit to. The key here is to find a balance between batch filmed content as well as leaving enough space in your schedule to be able to jump on new tunes quickly when they come out. You want the majority of your content to be batched so that you're set up to post throughout the week, without the pressure and urgency of having to film, edit and post on the same day. But be flexible enough to change your scheduled posts and be able to film, edit and post the occasional video on any given day. To batch record, you're going to want to pick a bunch of songs for the week and then schedule in a content day. Sundays are a good day for this, but you should find a day and time that works best for you. Set aside time blocks for each part of the process. First time block is going to be for song selection. Spend no more than 30 to 40 minutes moments going through Spotify, TikTok, Shazam, and anywhere else that you find music, and select the songs you wish to react to. Your next time block is going to be for filming. Each reaction can take anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes to record, so set aside enough time to film for all of the videos that you've set aside to do that week. In this filming time block, you're only focusing on filming. Obviously, don't get distracted or start thinking about the edits. Just sit there and plow through the filming process until you've completed all of the reactions. Your next time block is going to be for editing. In the process of editing your first few videos, take note of how long it takes you to do the edits. Then set aside enough time to do nothing but edit the videos you've recorded in your batch filming time block. Edit all your videos in one go, and at the end of the session, you'll have all your content ready for posting for the week. Scheduling your posts. Each platform has a tool for you to schedule posts and add captions, hashtags, etc. And there's also third-party scheduling tools that you can upload to all platforms at once. I'd suggest scheduling posts on each platform individually to make sure you have no problems. Scheduling posts isn't 100% necessary, but it does save you time and means if you're unable to post at your regular times manually, due to an appointment or any other commitment, you know your posts are going out even if you aren't able to physically post them in that moment. Let's move on to the next lesson. A key element of making a reaction channel successful is being a good tastemaker for your audience. You're feeding them new music, so if you're always weeks or months late on songs, the audience will have already heard them and you won't be keeping them coming back to you for new music. Most music is released on a Friday, so I'd suggest having most of your content batched for the week, but leave space on Fridays for at least one reaction video of a song that's out that day. Obviously, you'd have to film, edit, and post on that day too, so just make sure your schedule allows for that. Posting new releases from Friday on the following Monday or Tuesday is still good, so make sure a bunch of the songs in your song selection list for batch filming are new ones that have just come out. Keep up with the charts on platforms like Shazam, Beatport, or any other relevant chart in your niche. One of the best ways to find new music to react to is to let others do it for you. What I mean is, there's tons of music curators out there who are highlighting new music every day. So you can use their content to find songs and gauge which ones you should react to. If you're in the dance music niche, go and look through 10 of the top dance music curators' posts from this week. Identify the top performing posts and use those songs in your reactions. It's a cheat code to finding music to react to that you already know is going to do well. There's also an abundance of new music discovery pages you can scour to find music in your niche. This approach is going to be your best bet at finding songs in your niche or genre that you know are already performing well in reaction videos without you having to spend hours and hours searching through charts, finding the perfect tracks. This is definitely your starting point, and for your first 10 reaction videos, we'd recommend this approach above all else. We also have a section here on School where we will update new trending song lists in every genre, and we'll attach narratives and community commentary to assist you in making your song selections and hook caption writing as easy as possible. So keep an eye out here every week for new updates, and feel free to engage with the rest of the community to add insights into songs and narratives that you found to help your fellow reactors. Your initial videos are going to be what they're going to be, your first attempts at making reactions. After a while, you'll find a groove with your editing style and reactions themselves, and you'll start to find the things that work for you and your audience. Once you have that style locked in and the audience is growing, don't be complacent and think that that will work forever. Keep your eye on current and new editing styles and adapt and continue to grow your style with the movement of the culture. Staying stagnant doing the exact same videos won't keep your channel growing. You have to grow yourself as a reactor and editor for that to happen. And the taste and expectations of the audience is growing too. So keep up with it and always be learning, adapting, trying new things and experimenting to make sure you and your channel continue to grow with the audience. As I mentioned earlier in the course, Nathan Brown started out genuinely having never heard of Pink Floyd and having very little awareness around rock music. From the first time Nathan joined the Reactor Academy, Nathan has not only discovered and fallen in love with music from the 70s, 80s and 90s, but the path has led him to incredible things. Like I mentioned before, Nathan ended up being invited to Download Festival, being invited on stage with Fred Durst, live streaming music reactions with bands in different countries, and also ended up making his own rock music, with one of his songs getting over 500,000 streams. And his journey is still evolving every day, working with major brands, with major labels, in ways that he could never have dreamed of before listening to Pink Floyd for that very first time in a music reaction video. This is how you evolve your brand, by following your curiosity, leaning into your authenticity, following where the road takes you and embracing the journey. Who knows where Nathan's path will lead him next? And that's part of the beauty of what we do in music reactions. It's a journey of discovery and evolution, not just for the audience, but for you as a reactor and content creator too. Let's move on to the next lesson. You want engagement from your audience, and the best way to do that is to create content that engages them. Using fresh music, using captions to spark conversations, and editing for maximum impact is the main focus. But you also want to be engaging with the audience too. The first thing you should be doing is commenting on your own posts with more questions or statements to trigger more conversations. Commenting, "What should I react to next?" is always a good start. If your audience is enjoying your reactions, they're likely to want to see more. So asking them directly what they want to see gets them involved and makes them feel part of it. You can always screenshot their song suggestion and add that to your post, even shouting them out if you want to go that far, while showing their comment. Doing this also makes other viewers feel more inclined to comment and suggest songs, as seeing others getting a response from you makes them feel they might get a response too, and they love to feel involved in what you're doing. Reply to their comments too. You don't need to reply to everything, but leaving your whole comment section hanging makes them feel unseen and less likely to comment more in the future. When you first start out, you won't be getting tons of comments. So in these early stages, you should reply to as many comments as you can in a meaningful way. In this early stage, this will be very valuable in building your day one community members. And these are the people you want to foster relationships with. If they care when you have no followers and no views, you should care about them too. And they will come along with you on your journey as you continue to grow your channels. Engaging in other relevant content in your niche and in the communities that you want to be part of is crucial for you to be seen as an active community member yourself. You want engagement? Give engagement. So if you see a post and you like that music, drop your thoughts, but do it authentically. Don't do it just to try and get the engagement. Do it because you care. Care about the fans and the commentators, and they will care for you. You're providing them with new music, entertainment, and engaging content, but they're also providing you with the following and engagement that you're after, which ultimately will lead to the monetization and growth of your channel. So reciprocate and give them some of that love and appreciation back. The music reaction niche has exploded in popularity, offering creators a unique blend of entertainment, critique, and community engagement. But beyond the fun of sharing your authentic reactions lies a world of monetization opportunities. In this section, we'll explore how to transform your channel from a beginner reactor into a sustainable income stream. From paid brand partnerships to leveraging your audience, you'll learn actionable strategies to earn revenue while staying true to your creative voice. The key to success: diversification. Relying on a single income source is risky, so it's key to create multiple income streams for your reaction business. The main source of your income for your reactions is going to be from labels and artists promoting their music. And we're going to start you getting these opportunities once you finish this course and join the agency. But there's more ways that you can explore to create sustainable income for your business. Brand deals and partnerships will come in time, but you'll definitely need to have built a substantial following before this starts coming in for you. So be patient on this front. Monetizing your audience is always an option, but be careful. Selling merch or getting your audience to pay for subscriptions to your lives can sometimes put off your audience if you start doing it too early. But things like this will be an option for you as you grow. Just like any influencer business, there's many ways for you to make money. But let's focus on your first steps to monetizing your music reactions. The Music Reaction Group Agency, a game-changing opportunity for graduates of this course. This is how it works. Upon completing this course and uploading your first 10 reaction videos, you'll gain immediate access to the Music Reaction Group Agency. This curated network connects reactors with paid opportunities from artists, labels, and marketers seeking authentic engagement. On completion of this course, you'll need to submit proof of your first 10 reaction videos to the Google Sheet provided, and we will immediately add you to the agency from there. The benefits of joining the agency are as follows. Guaranteed paid gigs. Members receive invites to react to pre-release tracks, albums, or music videos. Payments can range from $50 to $500 plus per video, depending on your reach and engagement. Benefits of joining the agency. 1. Guaranteed paid gigs. Members receive invites to react to pre-release tracks, albums, or music videos. Payments range from $50 to $500 plus per video, depending on your reach and engagement. 2. Priority access. Labels often target reactors with 1K to 10K plus subscribers for niche campaigns. The agency negotiates these rates on your behalf. 3. Networking. Collaborate with fellow reactors, share strategies, and grow collectively. How to qualify. 1. Complete the course. 2. Upload 10 reaction videos. 3. Pass a quality review. The agency team will assess your content, your pacing, authenticity, and production value, as well as your consistency and engagement, and will add you once we're satisfied with what you're delivering. If there's anything we see wrong with your content or what you've missed or a certain criteria for being added to the agency, we will inform you and give you the opportunity to rectify any discrepancies and try again. The point of this course wasn't just for you to learn how to make compelling reaction videos, but to get you started in your career as a music reactor. So I urge you, complete the course, provide the evidence through the Google Sheets, and let's get you into the agency so you can start making money as soon as possible. The Music Reaction Group Agency is the largest and most successful reactor network in the world. And getting started with us ensures you're in the right place to start getting paid and also grow with the right people. So you can go from your first reaction to getting paid all the way to becoming the next top successful reactor. You've just taken the first steps into a world where passion meets profit. Curiosity becomes currency, and your love for music transforms into a thriving career. This isn't just a course, this is a launch pad. Think about where you were before you clicked enroll. You had a dream, a flicker of what if. Now you hold the blueprint to turn that dream into reality. You've learned how Majid built an empire from a bedroom in Lebanon. You've seen Nathan Brown's journey from a wardrobe side setup to becoming the UK's most recognisable reactor. You've watched Gomez and others prove that authenticity, consistency, and putting in the work, not the algorithms, is the secret sauce of this industry. The music industry is begging for reactors like you. Labels, artists, and fans, they aren't just watching, they're waiting for your voice, your reactions, your unique lens on songs that move you. And here's the truth, no one can do this like you. Not Majid, not Nathan, not Gomez. You bring something irreplaceable to the table. Your taste, your energy, your story. But let's get real for a second. The clock is ticking. Every day you delay is a day another reactor claims your spot in the algorithm. A day an artist misses out on your magic touch to make their song go viral. The future of reactions is unfolding right now, with live streaming reactors and clippers becoming the next hot ticket in this space. Don't fear though. We're leaders in that world too. And when you're ready, the Music Reaction Group will provide you with everything you need to know about how to evolve your content into the live streaming world too. Here's what I need you to remember. 1, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting with the cheat code. The Music Reaction Group Agency isn't just a perk, it's your golden ticket. Imagine getting paid to react to unreleased tracks from artists you admire. 2, perfection is the enemy of progress. Your first 10 videos won't be flawless, and they don't need to be. Majid's early videos were shot against a window. Nathan's first reactions were filmed in a cramped corner. What mattered wasn't the polish, it was the courage to hit post. 3, this isn't a hobby. You're not just a reactor, you're a tastemaker, a curator, a bridge between artists and the audience who need their music. Every video you create has the power to change someone's life. Whether it's a fan discovering their new anthem or an artist finally getting their big break. Your next steps are simple. Finish the course. Not someday, this week. Film those 10 videos. Not when you've got better gear or more time, now. Claim your spot in the Music Reaction Group Agency. This isn't a privilege, it's your right as someone bold enough to invest in themselves. We've removed every excuse. We've handed you the playbook. We've even built a guaranteed path to paid work, something no other course in this niche offers. When you hit post on that 10th reaction video, everything changes. You'll be a certified reactor in the inner circle, appear to the creators you admire, a collaborator with labels and artists who need your influence. This is your invitation to step into the spotlight. The music is playing, the crowd is leaning in. It's time to react.